Country Returns HD. It started out as a simple review of Super Mario Party Jamboree Switch 2 Edition plus Jamboree TV, but as I worked on it, the project evolved in scope, because you see, there's something about this Switch 2 Edition that, to be honest, is slightly unsettling. Once again, though, we should begin with a brief review portion of the game, just so I can say that I have given my thoughts on the actual content of the game, or rather the new content in this Switch 2 Edition. I didn't play a ton with friends, I didn't try out the new rule sets, I really just wanted to play the new mini-games and check out the presentation and whatnot. I started with Bowser Live, and I gotta say, it did not make a good first impression. I mean, presentation-wise, I guess it did. The Switch 2 has bumped up the visuals a bit, you know, looks a little sharper, some nice texture work. Really, it's the animation that shines here. Bowser himself really plays to the crowd, like he's clearly having a great time being the star of this show. It's an opportunity for him to be on screen a lot, and he's really expressive. Boy, these games are not fun, though. I had no idea there were only 3 microphone games and 3 camera games. That is not even almost enough to make for a whole dedicated mode. And you choose which kind you want to do at the start, and it spins this roulette to choose the next game, and you can see that it's spinning between only 3. And it's like this long, what's it gonna be? Like, you're gonna play 2 out of the 3 every time. It's so weird. And the presentation is good, but if anything, that just makes this feel even more awkward when you consider how lackluster the games themselves are. All this hype for these really underwhelming Kinect iToy style minigames. As for microphone games, the one where you all shout to drive a little car forward without going too far is the only kind of good idea, I would say. You're all working together, but you don't want to shout too much, so it's kind of an interesting dynamic when you're in a group. But that's really it. Using your voice to make Bowser Jr. float so he can grab the coins is, I mean, it's not fun in the slightest. And the one where you clap to the beat is ridiculously basic. And I don't know if it's my TV or what, but there is a humongous lag. I gotta clap way ahead of the beat for it to work, so there's another one that's just not fun at all. Then the camera games, it's basically the same thing. Stacking Goombas on your head is mildly amusing when it works. Hitting a block to get coins is whatever, and following the Talking Flowers instructions to either stand or squat is funny, like one time. And then at the end, each team takes turns, like, screaming at Bowser, and he decides who screamed the best. That is a little cute, I guess. One time. And that really sums up the whole mode. I could see it being a little fun for like one night with one group of friends.
Maybe some elements here, maybe some clothing.
So yeah, really not a great first impression.
Those are small
but
details.
Fortunately, Carnival Coaster, the other major mode in Jamboree TV, it makes up for it a little bit. Riding on the coaster and shooting enemies is kind of fun. There are 5 different courses to ride with different themes, and they really play up the whole amusement park angle. If there's anything really wrong with it, it's that it's just too easy. The point of shooting enemies is to gain more time so you can reach the end, but there's like no risk at all of running out of time, in the slightest. So it becomes more about just getting a high score at the end, I guess. Fortunately, one of the modes does have you running away from Bowser, and if you don't do well enough in the mini games, you straight up lose. So that does help. There's a little challenge there. Speaking of the games, you know, the new mouse games, I'm a little surprised by how much I like them. I really didn't know if I would. I'm not big on gimmicky mini-games overall, but you know what? These are decently fun. Some are definitely more fun than others. There are a few I could take or leave. The domino one. That one's really good. You all work together to place dominoes. I think that's a very clever idea. I actually wish this one had its own whole series of challenges like some of the other mini-games in the base game. It's got really good potential. But yeah, overall, there's an okay little chunk of these new mouse games. It's a bit of a pain to have to play on a flat surface, but it's an okay time. Still not like super fun, but leagues beyond Bowser Live, that's for sure. Do I think this new content is worth the price of this $20 upgrade pack? Personally, I would say probably not. I still vastly prefer the other more traditional mini-games and the other modes. If you're like crazy about Mario Party and you just love playing with friends a whole bunch, you just want as much as you can possibly get, then maybe you'll find this worth it. I really don't know. And really the value isn't exactly the point I want to talk about in this video. Because there's something about this Switch 2 edition that stopped production of this review dead in its tracks when I learned about it. Maybe most of you will know about this already, but it was news to me. I didn't figure it out until I finally started digging into the game and doing research. So, if you don't know what I'm talking about yet, just...
Let me put the player here.
I've got something weird to tell you. Before we continue, a quick reminder that this video was what's the deal of head Jamboree and Jamboree 2 Jamboree. When you boot up the game, you can choose between the original Jamboree and the new Jamboree TV. These two modes are entirely separate. There is no crosstalk whatsoever. You can access the basic Mario Party mode from Jamboree TV, and this is how you play with the new rules variants and integrate the new mini-games. Basically, you get all the new stuff like this through Mario Party mode in Jamboree TV. And this means that none of the progression systems of the base game are present. None of the records or unlocks or anything. So that's a bummer. And all the new content is right there, so there's no way to access any of that in the base game at all. No way to incorporate any of the new stuff into the old experience. So yeah, already disappointing. Kinda weird. I guess I get that there's something of a compatibility issue between Switch 1 and Switch 2 versions of the game, and this was their way of cleanly separating the two. It's an awkward solution, but I sorta get it, almost. Here's the real kicker, though.
Okay.
The upgraded presentation, the higher resolution, sharper textures, all that, not present in the base game. Right. Yeah, no, yeah, you heard me. Only Jamboree TV has better visuals. The base game does not. The base game is still essentially the Switch 1 version. Nintendo discourse has been a tad tumultuous recently. Nintendo has made some decisions this generation that have proven rather controversial, to say the least. Charging $80 for Mario Kart World, that really set the fire, I think. That scared people, and since then, there's been a really big shift in the community. There is a portion of the Nintendo fandom who have essentially turned on the company, who feel that it is now evil. It's such a big topic. I don't want to dig into every single thing. I think the situation is a lot more nuanced than most people think. That's why I'm a bit of a fence sitter here. I don't like everything Nintendo is doing, but I also see a lot of it as totally expected from a massive international publicly traded company in their position, considering the greater economic climate, all these monstrous, just unprecedented tariffs, selling things in this territory more expensive than ever. Everything is getting more expensive. It's just the whole thing. And I am receiving some pushback for not being angry enough at Nintendo, for still supporting them at all. For just a couple examples, I was criticized for saying that Welcome Tour is fun, and that even if, it would have been nice if it was bundled with the Switch 2, it probably does provide $10 worth of enjoyment for the right person. People called me out for supporting an anti-consumer practice, but the thing is, I just don't see it that way. Like, what about 1-2 Switch? That was every bit as deserving to be a pack-in title. It was a minigame collection designed to do nothing but show off the features of the Joy-Cons. It had substantially less content and overall value than Welcome Tour, and they sold it for $50. 5 times as much, and in 2017 money. Where was the outrage there? Why was that okay? Yeah, sure, we grumbled about it, but why was that not worth boycotting Nintendo over? Why weren't the reviews filled with comments talking about the reviewers supporting anti-consumer practices? And I really don't like that they raised the prices of their accessories, sure,
because
but
without
again, in
there's no
2017
shadow, right?
money, Switch 1
Check.
accessories were already
curious.
absurdly, just exorbitantly overpriced. Like
there is.
$100 for a dock, a glorified HDMI
What's the
port,
difference, then?
$80 for a pair of these little Joy-Cons.
Wait,
Again,
maybe I
we
need to make
grumbled,
it.
but we bought it all. Look, I'm not saying it's wrong to be upset
Best.
or criticize Nintendo, or even to stop supporting them completely
okay.
if that's what you feel led to do. But I do
Unless
feel
you
like
learn
this
to bake,
narrative
make sure
shift
they're gonna
itself
UV
has begun
to
affecting people's
the
perception.
color
We're
measurement.
looking at
Let's
Nintendo
study.
through a different lens now. Nintendo has always done things we don't like.
What
Just
does it
an
mean?
uncountable number
What
of things
does
that we
this
do not
mean?
like over the years. They make us mad all the time. This is not new. Also, I do have to say, not liking something
it is
doesn't automatically make it
8.
anti-consumer. Some of this is disappointing or annoying, but not necessarily the sign of a company that has suddenly gone bad. It feels like for whatever reason or combination of reasons, enough of the conversation has turned bad that now the equilibrium is off. Now every misstep is scrutinized even harder,
static. Should
turned
be
into an
okay.
even bigger issue. Now it's a consumer rights issue. Now anyone who engages with Nintendo is anti-consumer. Now it's this great big war.
I'm up,
Again, it's a
UV.
much bigger
I think
subject I
enable.
don't want to get super deep into here. I'm just saying that despite
That's
what
what I
some of
mean.
the community may want, I'm not ready to boycott Nintendo. I still think if you look at their long history, in many ways, they have improved dramatically. Yes, they still do make disappointing choices, as they literally always have. Yes, great success is maybe spurring some less
Yes.
savory, money-minded decisions. Absolutely. And a really scary
Oh,
economic
he's doing
climate
something.
is spooking them into jacking up a lot of
Let's
their
see.
prices, as with much of the entire world. But I still believe that there are still people at that company who are genuinely interested
Oh,
in making cool
killed
video
my
games,
computer,
and they are still
apparently.
a heck of a lot easier to support than other companies
Interesting.
in their position. Like good guy Microsoft, sticking it to Nintendo and going
What?
back on their own $80 games,
What
bringing prices back to a
is
more reasonable
this?
$70. Right after firing 15,000
What
employees
is
this year
this?
alone, despite record profits, and pledging to pursue AI more aggressively than ever. But I digress. Point is, I do have an anti-consumer barometer, and it is
What?
very much functioning, even if it doesn't go off as often as some of you would
What?
like. There are indeed times when Nintendo makes decisions that I think are very, very wrong. I will speak up when I
Interesting.
feel that Nintendo has crossed into anti-consumer
I don't
territory.
get it.
And Super Mario Party Jamboree Switch 2 Edition
So
has
need
my
to call
barometer
it.
going crazy. In every other case we've observed so far, Switch 2 Edition has meant, at its most
Guys,
basic
it's
level,
only
a Switch 1 game that has
1.5.
been reworked to run substantially better on Switch 2. Some Switch 2 editions come with new
Direction light,
content,
what is this?
some don't.
Right.
Some have higher quality textures and lighting, essentially
0.01,
acting as
look how
remasters
much
in a
it
sense,
is.
or rather, pre-masters.
Disgusting.
Some don't. But across the board, one thing at least has been promised.
And that
Better
where it does it.
performance.
Is it
When you
aligned
buy
to-
a Switch 2 edition, whether fresh from retail or through an upgrade pack, that is what
This one
you
too.
are promised. That is what is advertised. Maybe there's some fine print somewhere clarifying in this particular case, but that kind of thing does not hold up in court. There are consumer protection laws in place that disallow companies from tricking us through the use of fine print. Delivering
guys.
what appears to be promised by the marketing is the most important thing. Switch 2 editions are marketed as Switch 1 games that run better on Switch 2. So calling this a Switch 2 edition is a case of blatant false advertising. And that is
False
not a
advertising.
claim I throw around lightly. It's another term that maybe gets overused a bit, but it's absolutely valid here. Nintendo is basically tricking us
if I
with this game. This is a bait and switch. No pun
Oh my
intended.
God.
It's a bad enough case when taken all alone. If I were really
Lame up
invested in
UV.
Mario Party and really excited to play
Cannot
Jamboree
do
with better
this.
graphics, I would be positively furious right now. But as
Oh.
always, it's the implications that disturb me most. It's hard to imagine why Nintendo would fail to deliver
this?
on this promise. I
Maybe?
truly cannot
Please.
fathom a reason. I don't even have an educated guess, not so much as a shot in the dark. I get that the two modes are separate because of compatibility and stuff, but what does that have to do with the graphics? Why would that somehow prevent them from making the whole game run better? And why would they think that releasing the game like this is okay? How could they possibly believe that this was acceptable? Did they think we wouldn't notice? Is it because it's not quite like a Pokemon Scarlet and Violet situation where even a glance at the gameplay tells you something is seriously wrong? Instead, it's the kind of thing your average consumer might not even notice until they have the game in front of them.
What?
And by then, it's
0.2
already
is
too
this
late.
much.
And if Nintendo's lucky, some of them might not notice at all. I don't like that idea. That really plays into the false advertising angle.
What
I
is
just have
this?
so many questions. It's so
Over here.
baffling that something like this is even
Oh.
possible. And of course, maybe the biggest question is, what does this mean for future Switch 2 editions? Is this something we have to look out for now? Is this going to be a thing? Trick Switch 2 editions? You break our trust once, and suddenly we feel like we have to be on our guard. Maybe you could argue that this only happened with Mario Party because of its two modes. It would be a little different if
Make the
they'd
game
given us
now.
Tears of the Kingdom and, like, only the sky had been given the visual upgrade. It's not likely that we're gonna get our hands on Kirby and the Forgotten Land Switch 2 Edition plus Star-Crossed World and find that only the new levels have better visuals. Right? I mean, I would hope not. Is Mario Party something of a weird exception thanks to how the game is formatted? Maybe, but it's kind of like the limited releases thing from back in 2020. For all we know, this is the last time this will happen. Just won't come up again for the foreseeable future. But it's still something we've got to worry about now. It sets a terrible precedent. Now we know that it is possible at all for Nintendo to give us a Switch 2 edition that doesn't actually improve the entire game. And this happened just a couple
Oh, even kill my game.
months after launch, right at the beginning
Look
of
at
the
that.
generation.
Disgusting.
It doesn't bode well for the
The difference
future.
between
And you know what I feel makes all this even
real
weirder,
lightning
even harder to swallow?
and bacon.
Super Mario Party Jamboree feels like the only Switch 1 game that was developed with its Switch 2 edition in
Kill
mind.
me.
I mean, maybe with some other
Why
games, the
lightning
devs
is
knew
so
that they'd
hard?
get to do some sort of Switch 2 version someday. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. That's the only reason we never got major
Why?
DLC for Pikmin 4
Why
or
you
Mario
forcing me to
Wonder.
go to
But
Unreal?
Jamboree, releasing so late in the Switch's
Why
life,
game?
with a Switch
Why
2 edition
Godot?
announced right at the beginning of the next generation, was clearly built for this exact
Don't
purpose.
force me.
This was clearly the plan
No.
from the beginning. Give us a Mario Party in 2024 to capitalize on the gargantuan Switch 1 install base. Then update it and give it exclusive content for Switch 2 to give that install base a shot in the arm. Best of both worlds wins all around. I mean, honestly, up until now, I thought it was a genius strategy. It's just really so smart. So then, what gives? Why is this the one game that for some magical reason couldn't actually be updated beyond Mario Party mode? Food analogy time, it's like planning years ahead for the release of your fancy new aioli burger. You hype it up, you advertise the heck out of it. Come try our new aioli burger in 2025. And then when
I
it comes
hate
time
this.
to launch, you realize you don't have any garlic. So you
This
just
is me and
give
Far.
people the burger with regular mayonnaise and
Let's
don't
lower
say a
it,
thing about
everything.
it.
Let's
you don't
see
even
if,
acknowledge it. So what was the point of
it's
hyping
changed
up the
anything.
aioli? I don't know, man. I take a lot from Nintendo.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
we all
let's
do.
see. Let's
You
see
just
this.
kind of have to accept the bad with the good if you want to play the
I'm
video
sad.
game. That's how it works with these big companies. But this is one burger that's a little harder to chew. Now, we do have to ask ourselves another question. Is it possible that Nintendo might patch the game later so that the whole thing runs better on Switch 2?
Well, something
Yeah,
changed.
I
don't
guess
know what.
technically. I mean,
I
they've
know how.
patched a whole bunch of Switch 1 games to run better on Switch 2
Just mean that
for
one of
free,
this,
so I
it will
don't see
change
why
in
they
something.
couldn't patch this game that people are paying
Let's
for.
see.
Unless,
Let's
of
see
course,
if
there
which
is
one
some
is the
sort of weird problem
culprit.
specific to this game, or this is one of
Pick
those things
again.
where if they fix it, they have to
Ah.
acknowledge it as a thing in the first place, and it's better to just ignore it forever. I don't know, but yeah, if we're super lucky, they'll end up fixing everything and soothing our worries about future Switch 2 editions. I just don't think I'm feeling very confident here. They've already patched the game multiple times, but they've only fixed bugs and left the rest alone. And even if this does end up being one and done,
Oof, this video is too long. I could have mentioned the same information in 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Some YouTuber, they don't understand that. You just need to make a simple video, not a 20 minutes target video. I said with a dance binding, no, let's do it. Oh shit. This is a 20.
Today we're gonna fight Kingdom Hearts 2 Sephiroth with a dance pad, finally. It's been a long time
Good luck.
since I fought Kingdom Hearts 1 Sephiroth with a dance pad.
Good luck.
I don't know what's taking me so long. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous because we are fighting him on critical mode. It is level 99, so not that bad. We're gonna do decent damage, but we're gonna also take a lot of damage. Let's get started. I'm I'm so scared. Here we go.
How?
What does Cloud do?
It's crazy.
Beats me.
I find this kind of challenge crazy.
By the way, you three.
This didn't work.
Who are you?
To
I'm not sure we should tell you.
1,000. Maybe one of this.
That's
Make
an
again.
interesting sword you're carrying.
And it's Ultima.
I see. So that's a keyblade,
That's a keyblade.
and I suppose you must be its chosen wielder.
So what if I am?
Sassy Sora.
Change its mind. Once I defeat
Which one is the option?
show me your
I'm scared.
No, this.
Oh my God.
Okay.
That's enough.
Wait. I'm not ready.
Then is one of this.
No. It's practice. I don't remember. Give me a sec. Okay, so based on that, it is going to be difficult, and that's okay. I'd rather it be hard than easy.
What does Cloud do?
I'm skipping.
Beats me.
Show me your strength.
I'm.
Nope.
That's enough.
This not that one. Okay.
This is it.
Shit. I'm impressed that she even. I'm impressed. Ba, 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 ba.
Oh my God.
Ba, 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 ba. Okay, not this one. Multiplier exposure. It has to be this one.
Sliding dash.
Actually, let's
I don't
pull
have
5.
I don't have MP. I need to practice reflect. I need to reflect.
That's enough.
This is it. This is it. Heal.
I healed.
Sorry if
I'm
the
trying to- no, I
streaming
wanna-
is lagging
I
right
want
now.
to reflect.
The
I
bake
can't reflect now.
is like kill everything. Oh, we found
Don't
it.
worry about it.
The exposure 0.2, 0.1. Bake. Last bake.
I missed it.
That's enough.
Finally.
Where are you? I can't see.
Kinda better. 0.01. Because it's still too much. I want to be light, like moonlight.
Know your place. Give in to the dark.
Oh. Oh no.
Sephiroth.
Ooh. Oh.
That's enough.
Yes, yes. Back off. It's too much.
Hi. What are you doing? No.
Sephiroth. Like, why this dark?
Thank God for Leaf
There's
Racer.
nothing here.
You know what I'm saying?
Where this shadow came from? Go not! Ah!
I can't move. I can't really. I can't do anything about this. Sir.
Okay. Epic Games.
Okay, that was not bad.
Epic Games.
I feel like that was improvement.
That's enough.
Then people asking why
Dude, his sword.
everybody
is
is
so
switching to Unreal.
Help! Don't descend! I can't. I'm descending. No! I forgot he does a reaction command after that. The problem with the dance pad,
Actually, no,
I think
no,
like the
no.
hardest part of playing with the dance pad
No.
is maneuvering. So like
Let's remove this
something
shit.
like that move, it's really hard to get there in time. Like
It's so
Yeah.
nice to have a big light
I need to heal.
if it only works. Okay.
It's this. Ah, I forgot. This is elixir? Yes. How did I get so far back?
If only it could work properly. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Why this shit is bright? It doesn't make any sense.
I can't.
There's no light.
No. That's it. I'm gonna die.
No mas. No more. But now I wanna listen to some Sephiroth. Sephiroth team. Which one is the best one? I find that the Advent Children to be the best one, but let's see if the one in the new Final Fantasy, the remaster, maybe is better. Remaster Final Fantasy 7. Ah, remake, sorry, not remaster. How's it called? How is it called? Rebirth. Okay. Team Rebirth. That's it. That's it. Final Fantasy Rebirth release date February 2024. Alright, then must be that one. In remake version is very long, but in Rebirth is really short, at least 3 minutes. Hope you all enjoy listening to the episode. Okay. 3 minutes is okay. What? Oh. General, don't save. No, Actually, doesn't sound right. It does not sound right. It's too short. Feel like I missed some bits. Remake. I don't know. Remake maybe. 10 minutes. All right. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. And soulless. Select small to 0. Let's do this. For some reason. Unlink. Where did you go? What the fuck? Where is my horse? Maybe I'll link like this. Okay. Sure. Okay. If it works. The idea here is having the rib cage open. Let's quadrify first. What was it? Just to quad. I don't think that's the right quad. Oh my god. I have this problem now too. Whatever. This looks so wrong. I mean, this like look upward. This like this look upward. Please. Maybe better settings. Today even Blender fails me. What's wrong today? Fuck it. Whatever. Okay. We'll do it our way. So the idea is to wide open this crap. I say this quad too. And then Missy Godot, let me see Godot again. Okay, I see the bottom mostly than the top. Alright, bottom. So let's take all of this. Yeah. I wonder why my glass goes invisible in the camera. It's white. Q. Alright. It's not green. Sephiroth. I work better in square, so I'm going to remove all of this because otherwise I'm confused. I figure I did like this. No, I think this one is like this. This one like this, right? Huh. No. Like this. Okay, for now, like this. Okay. I'm going to sculpt this part, this bit here. Or maybe separate it. I'm not sure. Looks wrong. Yeah, better. What the fuck is going on here? Oh, it's a triangle. What? Okay. Whatever. I promised the topology was good. Bum bum. Sephiroth. I wonder if I'm biased to say that this soundtrack, this remake is not as good as the Advent Children version of it. Comments are turned off. I wonder why. What shit is that? Sounds like you change Final Fantasy. This is not even the same Final Fantasy. Ooh. What happened? What? Why does it Blender, please? What's wrong with you? Wait. Wait. Export. No, terrible, terrible. Horse. FBX export. So for team, then children. This one winged angel. It's shorter and it's perfect. Look. Sorry. Okay, Blender. ZBrush. ZBrush time. Because if Blender doesn't work, if Godot doesn't want to work, I wonder if ZBrush now doesn't want to work. This is one of those days. They are forcing me to stop the streaming earlier today. Ba, 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 ba. Sephiroth. Oh, sorry. Sub to actually no, we do from zip plugin FBX, zip plugin FBX import our shit. Yep. Already divided. We crease it in the geometry crease, if I'm right. Crease PG. I will crease the edge. I'm using a Blender shortcut. I'm so rusty. Yep. And we add to a double so we can see back and forth. We can what? We can do like 600, I think. Ah, yuck. 200. Okay, now we smooth. Like this. Yep. Actually, wait. Let's bridge. No, oh my god. How do you call here? Bridge. Oh my god, sorry guys, I totally forgot how to do this. Split. Split the thingy. Slice. What? Press point. Ah, because it's subdivided. Okay, the layer. One, and we do this one. Oh. Come on, mate. Like this. Like this. One here. And one here. Okay. I wonder why Dynamish does the trickery. I wonder if for some reason this is double. What the fuck is happening? I never seen this problem. It looks like it tried to be double. Even if Dynamish doesn't have to, like usually don't try to create a form, a complete form. So odd. Like I'm forced to make it thicker. Sorry, like this. Fully mask. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Like this, but this doesn't make any sense. No. Just for the sake of having Dynamish working. Today is the day. Resident Evil to remake PS1 graphics. What music should I put, guys? I don't know.